If someone told me a month ago that the Utah Jazz would start the season 10-3 and be in the lead for the number one seed in the West, I would have said, I'll bet you $1,000 that it ain't going to happen. Yet here we are, a little over 10 games into the season, and a team which we all thought was going to be in the race for Victor Wembanyama is actually leading the entire Western Conference. Sheesh, how crazy is that? We really got to give it up to Will Hardy. I mean, his team doesn't have a single All-Star from 2022, and yet they've already beaten the Nuggets, who have a two-time MVP. They've already beaten the Memphis Grizzlies twice, and they've completely ran through the big three of LeBron, Anthony Davis, and Russell Westbrook. This really proves one thing, and that's the fact that in today's NBA, teamwork plus the depth of the bench trumps superstars and ball hero. I mean, with Lauri Markkanen leading the way, the Jazz have 6 players scoring in double figures, and 2 others that aren't too far behind that. The season is really young, however, and though I hate to be the source of negativity, I believe this Jazz team will eventually follow somewhat of the same route that the Wizards took last year, where they started off the season hot at 10-3, but ultimately, as the season progressed, they cooled off. Only time will tell, but in the meantime, let's move towards the second shocking surprise, and that's the fact that the Timberwolves are starting to look really bad. After trading away their future for Rudy Gobert, they were supposed to be good looking, but not only have they started off the season a bit shaky in terms of wins and losses, but Karl Anthony Towns is calling out Ant-Man about his diet on live television, and the locker room doesn't seem like it's in sync. Here's another concerning fact about the Timberwolves. You might think that, similarly to the Golden State Warriors, it's a bit of a lack of depth that's causing them to lose. But if you look at their top 10 most used 3-man combinations, they're all in the negatives. The combination of Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert, and Karl Anthony Towns currently has a negative rating of 5.4. And if you think adding D'Angelo Russell is going to make it better, think again. Because according to statistics, by adding in the former All-Star guard, their net rating drops to negative 10.9. Although it's still early in the season, if I were a betting man, based on the personnels of this team, the organization's history, and from what I've seen so far, I wouldn't bet on them to turn things around, and the Rudy Gobert trade is looking really bad at the moment. The Donovan Mitchell trade, however, is looking like it's really working out for both the Jazz and the Cavaliers. As for Cleveland, when you beat the Boston Celtics twice in a week, you know you're legit. The team has arguably the best backcourt in the Eastern Conference with Mitchell and Darius Garland. Then when you combine that with the front court of Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley, you know what you become? Absolutely dangerous. With the 76ers hitting an injury bug and with the Nets imploding from the inside, I'd wager that the Cavaliers are going to end up as a top 4 team in the East. I mean, they're loaded with talents. Mitchell, Garland, and Allen are all All-Stars from 2022. Mobley was a Rookie of the Year finalist. Kevin Love is a champion. And Karis LeVert is capable of dropping 50-point games. The bonus kicker on the side is, not only are they good, but they are also extremely fun to watch. I mean, when was the last time you saw a guard-to-guard alley-oop in transition, or a player putting another player on skates while hitting a 3 in their face? Sheesh, guys. Everyone knew they'd be good coming into the season, but nobody really thought they'd be this good. I mean, as of now, they look like a possible candidate to represent the East in the finals. And speaking of the finals, many people pegged the Clippers to be representing the West with the return of Kawhi Leonard, but after sitting out a year, I'm really shocked to find that he's still either injured or load managing. To make things worse is the fact that even in the 2 short games he's played so far, it's not looking good for him. I mean, he was on a minutes restriction, so of course his points production is going to decrease, but it's the efficiency that's looking really bad. 2 games is a really small sample size, but so far, Kawhi's gone 8 for 18 from the field and 1 for 6 from 3-point range. It's not looking good for the 2019 Finals MVP, and it doesn't look good for the Los Angeles Clippers either. The season is still young, but at this rate, it looks like the Clippers' curse is going to continue because the truth is, unless Kawhi is playing and playing at 100%, this team isn't going to go far. Anyways, one player who is playing games and who is turning heads is rookie Paolo Banchero. Man, everybody, including me, was talking about the 2023 undisputed number 1 pick, Victor Wembanyama, but my goodness, guys, Paolo Banchero is putting on quite a rookie season. I mean, he knows how to use his 6'10" frame and bully his weight at the rim. He can catch and finish alley-oops. He can freeze defenders with his handles and shoot mid-range. He could shoot the three ball. This kid has the size and talent to do anything and everything he wants on the court, including dunking on people. His efficiency isn't quite there yet, but that'll come with time. The writing's on the wall, though. This kid is going to be great, and I'd go as far as to say that he's the most talented number one pick since LeBron. I mean, the 6'10" frame with the ability to do what he does. Whether or not he chases greatness is up to him, but either way, he's a monster on the rise. Anyways, let's move to a monster on the decline. I'm sadly talking about Kevin Durant. Now, individually, he's still as dominant as ever, and this isn't a knock on him, but the team he's on is a hot mess, and they're dragging him down. Ben Simmons is looking bad. I mean, not only has his field goal percentages dropped pretty bad, but Zion was making him look like barbecue chicken, Giannis was making him look like barbecue chicken, and Luka actually cooked him into barbecue chicken with a 41-point triple-double. Anyways, Kyrie, on the other hand, is up to his usual antics and finds himself not on the court. Then, to make things worse, when he is on the court, he's only shooting the three ball at 28% and isn't helping the Nets win games. Then, when Durant thought that things couldn't possibly get any worse, Steve Nash was fired. The Brooklyn Nets are nothing like what I thought they'd be, and at the present, their ceiling looks like a first-round exit. I mean, they aren't a team at the moment. They're just Kevin Durant, and in today's NBA, like what I said earlier about the Utah Jazz, teamwork trumps superstars in hero ball. And speaking of superstars, if you just look at the numbers, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is definitely starting to enter the category. Looking at his statistics will make you say, wow. 31.6 points a game on 54% shooting from the floor, while leading the league at free throw percentages at 95. He also currently has the 5th highest player efficiency rating in the league, just sandwiched between Jokic and Durant. And if you don't like to base everything on numbers and instead like to use the eye test, the conclusion doesn't really change. I mean, his mid-range is money. He also has a decent bag of tricks. Then when it comes to attacking the rim, he's right up there with the best of them. His three-point shooting accuracy could use a bit of work though, and I'd wager that once he gets that number to be a bit more efficient, then he's really going to enter that class of special players. It's unfortunate that Chet Holmgren is injured and out for the season because honestly, the Thunder look like they could potentially have something really good going on. But hey, if this lands them Victor Wembanyama, then things could really get interesting in Oklahoma City. One thing I want to note about the NBA in general is the new generation of hoopers is now truly coming in. Kids that were glued to the TV as Steph shot threes and won championships have now grown up, and practically everybody could shoot threes now. It doesn't matter how small or how big you are, threes are splashing like there's no tomorrow. I mean, just take a look at this. I know it's still early in the season and the percentages will dip a bit, but back in 2015, the most efficient three-point shooter was Kyle Korver, who shot it at 49.2%. Well, as of the moment, there are 14 players shooting better than that. Back in the day, guards like Russell Westbrook and Rajon Rondo could be all NBA players based on everything else they could do on the court, but in today's NBA, the inability to shoot threes is the quickest way to find yourself out of the rotation and out of a job. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why a lot of haters say that Steph Curry broke the NBA.